all, and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today I'm here in Ponytown because we just got a brand new update. That's right, a brand new update. And this update is version 0.74.3. It is quite a big update. At the same time, it's quite a small update. The majority of this update is things like fixing, bugs, fixing this, fixing that, optimizing this, optimizing that, and reducing the cost of all multi-piece objects to one. So things like your trees now only count as one tree, just one prop, one item on your house. So it no longer counts as 2 or 3 or however many it was that it was counting before. So that's a really good change. That's really good to have and everything like that. They have also done some other things, such as increasing the object limit on your island by 50 and increasing the wall limit by 100, which is great. That's huge. That means we can place even more objects, so I can fit another game here now. I wasn't at the object limit yet, but I was getting close to it, I believe, and now I can. Now I know I'm gonna have a little bit more room for another game if I want it. They changed the default chat log opacity from 33% to 55%. I don't think anyone's ever gonna necessarily notice this because it's a slight change that it's going to be very subtle. Not sure how many people are actually going to even notice it. They increased the amount of flying critters on your island. So when you go to your island, you should see more of these flying creatures and stuff like that. The flying critters being things like fireflies, bats, or even butterflies. For some reason, I'm not seeing any of those, but that is in the changelog, so we should be seeing more of those. Yeah, here's a bat here, here's a bat over there. So there's more. Here's some fireflies and stuff. I think the reason why they did this is because the island is so massive that it's been hard for you to kind of notice them and everything like that, so they just kind of upped the size of them, increased the limit of them a little bit so that you can kind of see more of them and it looks a little bit more lively instead of dead and barren or whatever. So in addition to all of that, other than things about the actual building and some of the settings, so I kind of want to go through the settings first. There's some new settings and stuff like that. First off, you can go to your settings by going up here in the top right, clicking settings, and then go. So if you go to your control settings, you can see this thing here where it says allow map tool shortcuts on non-editable maps. What that does is if I actually go to the main island and press Q or F or V or whatever, those are normally hotkeys that allow me to equip a crowbar for V, or equip a hammer with F, or equip a shovel with Q. Those are hotkeys to allow you to equip those items. But if I go to the island and then press those exact same keys, I am no longer going to be able to grab those things. I can't hold those things. I can't get them. I need my shovel. I need my shovel. Okay, there we go. But you can't equip those items over there at all. There's just no way to do it because you have the setting off. If you want to change that, you can click settings here, go to controls, and then hit this right here, allow map tool shortcuts on non-editable islands or maps or whatever. You can click that again and hit OK to save your settings. And then if we go back to the main island over here and everything, then we can press Q and equip our shovel, our lovely little shovel here. I'm gonna shovel this random player here. They started running away. But yeah, there's just, you can equip shovels and stuff like that. And if you want to turn that off to where, maybe you have some bananas or something and you don't want to accidentally lose that banana, you can leave that setting turned off. It's off by default, so if you don't want it on, you'll have to go to your settings to turn it off, but it's normally off by default, so you're not normally going to be able to do this unless you do the settings and everything. There is still a catch to this. If you're on the non-editable islands and everything like that, you're still going to be able to equip your shovel and stuff like that. Of course, you can carry it from from your island if you want to, or you can use the action bars down here at the bottom where you can just press that shovel and you'll equip a shovel or whatever. Yeah, there's no way to drop it by pressing Q with this, so you would have to use the drop action or the slash drop action command, and then they drop it that way. So there's some cool factor with that. No longer we have to worry about accidentally pressing Q or F or something like that to replace your banana or anything like that. So I'm definitely going to keep that feature turned off because I think that's going to be great. And you can always just use your actions to equip something if you really need to. So in addition to that setting change, we also have some other setting changes here. If we actually go over to graphics, that's right, graphics. We have this thing here called show statistics. Okay, I had to say that slow because I'm not very good at saying that word. But we can show this So we can show the stats. It shows things like rendering and network status and stuff like that. This is normally off by default as well, so you won't have to worry about the text up there in the top right corner or whatever. But what that does is it gives you this text up here in the hit OK. It gives you this text up here in the top right. This text gives you information about your FPS, so you kind of don't need this FPS thing here in the top left anymore if you have this on at the same time. Actually, is that even accurate? Because it's like literally not even the same as this FPS over here. Or am I just seeing things, not catching them both at the same time? I think it's just, I think there's some kind of delay there. I'm not sure, but it also shows you your ping, which, good God, my ping is like really freaking high. It shows all kinds of information like that. It even shows how many ponies are rendered right now at one time. So if I actually go back to the main island over here, let's go down to the main island. It will show me how many ponies are there in that one shot. So if we look up here, oh god, it's kind of tiny. I can't hardly see it. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. See if I can't see it. There's 123 ponies around me right now. So that's how many that it's just figuring out, I guess. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how that works. It seems like it's about how many ponies you see on screen at any given time. I could be wrong about that because I know there's more than 156 ponies in the map right now. It's just how many are rendered for you right now, because if I zoom out more, it goes to 306 or whatever. So it's only a matter of like how many are around you at that given time. So there's roughly 89 ponies around me right now, so that's cool. That's a cool little feature. You can kind of see how many people are around you and everything like that. And another change here real quick before I forget about it, they changed how you can load houses now. So if you actually go to your manage maps and everything like that, you used to be able to double click to load like this empty house here, for example. I can no longer double click this to load it. You now have to enter the load thing, so you have to click this and then hit load or whatever. It won't let you load an empty house, but I can load like this big house here, or even the games one, even though I'm already in it. But you used to, you know, be able to double click that, and as you can probably hear in the background, I'm double clicking it and it's not loading whatsoever. That is a change. That's an intentional change. They changed that because I assume they changed it because a lot of people accidentally load houses and stuff like that and then lose progress on the previous house they had and everything. So that's most likely why they did that. But I just wanted to mention that because it's something that you probably got used to, or something you probably knew a little bit about, you know, doing and everything like that. So hopefully this didn't, you know, change anything too much for you, but it's still very simple to load maps. You can just click it and hit load, and it will load the map for you and everything like that, and it'll be totally fine. So yeah, that's that change. Let's move on to some of the other changes now. But now we get into some of the like one of the other changes, and I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but there's been a change to how the grass and all of the tiles interact with each other. So before, if you don't know, I'm sure you do, you used to have grass that sort of turned into dirt just before it reached the edge of a tile. That no longer happens. So your tiles are more flat and everything like that, so there's no dirt coming between this dark tile here and this grass here. There's no dirt between that. Same thing with all of my carpet and everything like that. They've changed that, and that's a really nice change. I really love that change. It's a great change that I feel like not a lot of people notice at first, but then they realize it and they're like, holy shit, that just looks way better, and everything, especially for like what I normally do with like these games and stuff like that. This looks a lot better. It flows a lot smoother and everything like that. It's just more flat. It just ends up looking pretty good in my opinion. So that's one of the changes that I wanted to mention. But we also have some additions. We have some additions to the party island and everything like that. We have some new things to the actual island. We have some new furniture. So the only two pieces of furniture that we got that are brand new is this pine tree here and this stump here. Now this stump is sort of a secret stump. A secret stump. So we have this large pine. We have all kinds of different variations of pines now. We have large pine, big pine, medium pine, small pine, and smaller pine, and a tiny pine. So we have all the pines there, but we also have some stumps. We also obviously have our small stump like we've always had. We have our large stump like we've always had, and then we have a brand new stump. However, this is not a stump that you scroll over to. This is a stump, this is just a variation of the large stump. So to get to this stump, you're either gonna have to scroll back and forth between the small stump and the large stump over and over again until you get it, or you're gonna have to press shift if you're on PC and press that enough times and it will switch between them. It seems to be random. I don't know why it's random. I really wish it wasn't. There's no reason it should ever be random, especially when there's only 2 things, but it's random. But every time you press shift, you have a chance of going between that large stump and this new stump here, which technically doesn't have a name because it's just a variation of the large stump. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the changes. I really like how this new stump looks. Oh, also when you place a large stump, it will change between the variants. But yeah, I really love this, this new stump. I might end up using it a lot more than this large stump here or whatever. And I definitely love this big pine because it is obviously massive. It's going to be good for people that want to play around with more hide and seek type maps and stuff like that, because obviously they're a lot bigger than this tree here and everything else, and you can kind of play around with those in pretty unique and interesting ways and stuff. So yeah, other than all those changes, that's pretty much it for the video. There was one more change that I do want to mention. I guess I can mention it real quick. You used to have a pretty terrible thing here where if you were laying down, you would stand all the way up and then fall in the water. Now it has been changed, so now you just fall straight into the water. This is a very, very nice change. I'm really glad they changed that because it looked a little bit awkward and everything like that. But yeah, it used to be like you would actually stand all the way up and then you would fall in the water, and it didn't flow very well. This new change here, it flows very well and very nice, and I like it. You still have where like when you get up back on land, you still have to sit back down and lay back down, which is totally fine and normal, I guess. But yeah, that's a pretty cool little change there as well, but that's more of a fix or a tweak, I guess you could call it, more than anything else. Everything else is pretty simple things, like I said before. Anyway, that's it for the update video and everything like that. If you are interested in Ponytown, if you love Ponytown, subscribe and stuff like that, because I make update videos every single time there's an update, at least when there's an update worthy of talking about and everything, because obviously if they release an update and it's just like, oh, we fixed a lighting issue, I'm not going to make a video on that unless it was a pretty massive lighting issue and everything. Yeah, I make videos on Ponytown updates every single time there's an update, and I also make Ponytown content of all kinds. Everything from unique original games to weird, funny moments and everything else. So I do a lot of Ponytown content as well as some other things, so please do consider subscribing if you liked this video, and if you learned something, please let me know in the comments. And if I missed something, let me know in the comments as well, because I want to be as informative as possible, and that is of course my goal. So if I'm not that, then let me know. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. I do hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, please do like, subscribe, and share, and do all of those wonderful things, because when you do those wonderful things, you get access to wonderful content such as this. But that's not all you get. You also get to become wonderful yourself, and I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.